guys! Desh here. For those new to the channel, ESO was the first MMO I ever played, and I loved it so much I played it and streamed it almost every day for a year straight, and I have almost 3,000 hours played in-game. Being so attached to the ESO world, the idea of playing another MMO was a little, well, daunting. I played a tiny bit of Classic, and although I didn't hate it, I wouldn't say it really grabbed me. I'm someone who really has to love the look of my toon in order to really enjoy it, and in Classic, I ended up going with a class I wasn't crazy about, and I think that was part of the reason the game didn't really appeal to me. Today, however, I'll be sharing some highlights from my first week in WoW retail. This time, I decided to go with my first choice for race. That's right, an undead. Now, for those that know me, this won't come as a shock at all, because when it comes to creepy, well, that's sort of my thing. As far as class, a warlock seemed like a perfect fit. I mean, my character can feed off human flesh while summoning demons to do my bidding. What more can I say? So, first impressions. I actually loved my starting area quests. Being in the Forsaken, I started in a super eerie zone called Death Knell, which, as the name suggests, was naturally very creepy. I had to kill zombies, collect some embalming fluid. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, being completely new to the game, I honestly feel like I picked things up rather quickly. A friend hooked me up with some badass looking gear to seriously up my FPS game, and a few hours in, I was already assembling groups, queuing for dungeons, and with a little help from my friends in game and Twitch chat, I was able to navigate through the game pretty seamlessly while picking up tips and tricks along the way. After leveling my first toon to 55, I decided to try a Death Knight, and I created, wait for it, a female toon. Now, if you watch my streams on Twitch, you know I pretty much only play beefcake male toons. But for some reason, I decided to change things up and went with a female blood elf. I know, what the farm dish. Now, when it came to which specialization to choose, I had to go with Unholy, for obvious reasons. Talents like summoning an army of the dead and crushing an enemy's throat? Yeah, sounds like me. But having 3 ability bars and no MMO mouse, I was worried this was the part where I would get lost and start falling behind. Instead, a few hotkeys later, and the help of some handy-dandy add-ons, I was flying to the top of the DPS charts one dungeon after the other. In my shape, Lucky! Another cool thing about WoW is some of the coolest transmogs and mounts in the game are all farmable, meaning you can actually earn them in-game. Yes please. I mean, this guy farms for sure, like, literally. Something else I want to comment on is in regards to story. As someone who tends to eat through the dialogue in games so I can get to the part where I Rambo into combat and slice up some mobs, I can honestly say this is the first game where the lore has really drawn me in. One of the cutscenes even prompted me to have an emotional reaction I was seriously not expecting. Overall, I gotta say my experience so far in WoW is not what I expected. The cartoonish graphics really didn't appeal to me until I dove into the game and now are something I really enjoy, while the combat has been surprisingly easier to grasp than it was for me in ESO. And I'm having a blast. And don't even get me started on the transmogs in this game. With the Shadowlands expansion around the corner, whether you haven't played the game in years or you have yet to dip your toes into the biggest MMO of all time, I highly recommend you give WoW a fair shot. Having finally taken the dive myself, I can honestly say I'm hooked and finally see what all the hype is about. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Desh. I stream on Twitch 6 days a week. Come hang out sometime and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys!